The following assembly instructions should be followed. With clean rags or other tools, thoroughly clean the socket and plain end of the pipe being installed, removing mud, gravel, or any other material that may cause the front of the gasket or the flex ring to protrude into the path of the spigot. Next, wipe the fast-tight gasket clean, and after flexing one or more loops, insert the gasket into the gasket recess of the socket, with the large sealing end of the gasket toward the rear of the socket and the harder portion in the narrow socket groove. It is extremely important to note that a fast-tight gasket must be used because the rubber-backed flex ring does not perform any sealing function. Now, remove the flex ring from its container and place it in the socket restraining groove in gasket-like fashion. The restraining segments of the flex ring are yellow. Be sure these yellow restraining segments are sloped toward the entering spigot. This can be done by placing the flex ring in the socket groove and working one or more loops inward and out from the bell face, if necessary, to seat the rubber-backed ring firmly and evenly in the locking groove. With a clean brush, apply a liberal amount of fast-tight lubricant completely over the exposed inner surface of the gasket. There is no need to lubricate the flex ring rubber backing or segments. Use only lubricant supplied by American, and for underwater or very wet conditions, special American underwater joint lubricant is recommended and available upon request. Also apply lubricant completely over the spigot end of the pipe, spigot end taper or radius, and the outer surface of the pipe spigot up to the weld bead. Do not allow the lubricated spigot end of the pipe to contact the ground prior to joint assembly. With the pipe in reasonably straight alignment, assemble the plain end into the flex ring bell until it hits home and contacts the back of the socket. When the weld bead is in proper assembled position, fully beyond the yellow flex ring segments, every segment will be secured firmly between the weld bead, the spigot, and the wedging surface of the socket. Verify the correct positioning of the yellow flex ring segments by visual inspection or with a feeler gauge if visibility at the installation site is poor. The weld bead and locking segments will normally move directly into their correct positions and produce an audible snap. However, if any segment should not come down firmly onto the pipe at any point around the circumference, deflect the pipe slightly into that direction, allowing the segment to correctly seat itself. After joint assembly, the joint may be deflected within the range of allowable joint deflection for the size of the pipe being assembled. Most flexible restrained joints, including flex ring, allow some amount of axial movement after assembly of their locking mechanisms. In some installations, such as exposed piping or with connections of flexible restrained joint piping at angles to rigid piping or other structures, substantial movement may be undesirable. In such cases, it will be necessary to pull or extend the joints after proper assembly has been verified. For details on optimal installation methods and tools, call American's Customer Service Department at 1-800-442-ADIP or contact your American sales engineer for assistance.